Good morning, class 8. Today we have to start with clauses, that is chapter number 7. Clauses. Read the following sentence carefully. The lady who is wearing a red sari is my aunt. Here, the words who is wearing a red sari is a clause. Why? Because it has a subject and a finite verb. That is the identification of a clause. The group of words in bold has a subject who and a finite verb is wearing. So the definition of clause is it is a group of words which has a subject, finite verb and forms a part of a sentence. These are the features. Clause has a subject and predicate. It should have at least one verb. And some clauses can stand alone. There are two types of clauses that you have to remember. One that is independent and the other is dependent. Independent clause makes complete sense. Example, the bus going to school got a flat tire. Here, the phrase in bold, going to school, it has no subject. Okay, we are talking about these words, going to school, it has no subject. But if I say, the bus which was going to school got a flat tire, now it has a subject. Which is a subject because it refers to the noun bus, and also a verb, finite verb, was going. So that makes it a clause. Clause in bold has a subject and a finite verb. Now come to types of clauses. There are mainly three types: independent, main or principal clause, dependent, subordinate clause, or coordinate clauses. So you have to remember, one is independent clause, the other is dependent, and the third one is coordinate clauses. Now what are independent clauses? These clauses have a finite verb, as I already said, okay, and it makes complete sense. They can stand on their own. When a sentence has only one main clause, then the clause itself is the sentence. Okay, main clause is called an independent clause because it can stand alone. If there is one clause that is independent, no, it makes a complete sense in itself. Suppose I sang a song. This sentence has one finite verb, sang, and consists of only one main clause. So this is a clause. Okay, I sang a song. It is called an independent clause because it makes complete sense in its own self. It doesn't need any other clause to depend upon. Now come to dependent clause. These clauses are the ones that have a finite verb but do not make complete sense on their own. They make sense only when they are attached to an independent clause. So dependent clauses, they also have a verb but they cannot stand alone. They don't make complete sense in its own self. They need an independent clause to depend upon. Example, I like music, which is composed by A.R. Rahman. Now here, I like music is an independent clause because it can stand alone. Okay, if I say I like music, it makes sense. It is a sentence in its own self. But if I say which is composed by A.R. Rahman, it doesn't make sense. Okay, it doesn't sound complete. So it needs an independent clause to complete its meaning. Independent clause, I like music, can exist on its own. Okay, but dependent clause, which is created by A.R. Rahman, cannot exist without independent clause. Now what are coordinate clauses? Often in sentences there are two or more main clauses which are combined together by a conjunction. Such conjunctions are coordinating conjunctions. Each clause in such a sentence is of equal importance and can stand on its own. Such clauses are called coordinating clauses. The coordinating clauses are clauses that are joined by a conjunction. For example, come to next page. I like music and I enjoy spending time with friends. Here there are two clauses. I like music and I enjoy spending time with friends. So both these clauses can stand alone. So they are independent clauses and they are joined by a conjunction called and. So they are called coordinating clauses. They have been joined by a conjunction, coordinating conjunction, that is and. Now when we break it, we get I like music, I enjoy spending time with friends. Both these clauses can stand alone because they are independent and are called coordinating clauses. Now come to these exercise, we'll do one and then rest of it I'll share it with you in the WhatsApp group. Identify the main clause, subordinate clause and coordinate clause wherever they occur. The first one has been done for you. Now we'll discuss this. You can't come in while we are having a lunch. Now, you can't come is the main clause because it can stand on its own. It has a meaning. But in while we are having our lunch is a subordinate clause or a dependent clause because it cannot stand on its own. In the same way, you have to identify the rest of the sentences as main clause, subordinate clause and coordinate clause. Let us look at one more example of coordinate. Anu bought the pencils and I bought the pens. Now here you can see there are two clauses joined by the coordinating conjunction and. So that is why these two are called coordinate clauses. Okay, now come to the types of clauses. Just like a phrase, a clause can act as an adjective, an adverb or as a noun. Noun clause. Phrases we have already learned in the first chapter. Now we will learn about different types of clause. A clause that, first one is noun clause. A clause that acts as a noun is called, in a sentence, is called a noun clause. For example, Rohit listened to what was told. Again, clause, as you know, that it always has a subject and a finite verb. Now here the group of words printed in bold answer the question, listen to what? When you ask a question to it, Rohit listened to what? Okay, it answers the question what? What did he listen to? What was told? So he listened to what? It acts like a noun. Okay, you are getting an answer to a question, what? So that makes it a noun. Okay, so it acts like a noun. It has a subject and a finite verb. So it is a noun clause because it answers the question what. Now read these sentences. He listened to all that. This is a noun phrase, not a noun clause. He told them to wait. Again, a noun phrase. She found out the secret. Noun phrase. Now in all these sentences, even these sentences answers the question what, but they doesn't have all these sentences do not have a verb. So that is why it makes it a phrase. The words printed in bold in sentence also answer the question, listen to what? Okay, listen to what? But it does not have a finite verb. So it is a noun phrase. Now second one, he told them to wait. He told them what? He told them to wait. It answers the question, but still it is not a clause. It is not a noun clause. Why? Because it doesn't have a verb. Now don't tell me that to wait is a verb. I have already taught you that the base form of a verb, whenever it is preceded by the word to, it becomes an infinitive. Alright. So now in sentences B and C, the noun phrases are to wait and the secret. So these are noun phrases and not noun clause. A noun clause may perform the role of a subject, object or complement in a sentence. Now that he is your friend was unknown to me. Now this is a noun clause because it answers the question what. What was unknown to me? When you question it, you will get the answer that he is your friend. Okay, so here it is a noun clause because it answers the question what and it has a subject and a finite verb. Okay, that he is your friend was unknown to me. Now come to features. So these are the features. Noun clause acts like noun. It may be the subject of a verb or the object of a verb. Okay, that the incident would happen was certain. There is a subject. What was certain? That the incident would happen. And here there is a verb also. Was certain. Okay. He told me that the trip was cancelled. He told me. He told me. Told me is the verb and the object is that the trip was cancelled. Now here you can see that a noun clause can act as a subject of a verb or the object of a verb. Okay, here it was acting as the subject of the verb, and here it's acting as the object of the verb. Okay, it depends on the sentence. Now it is introduced by that, questions like why or what. It may also be introduced with words whether. So it is already noun clauses are always introduced by the words like that, why, what. Okay, now come to one example. Let us see one example. Here are some examples. He who will go is not certain. Now ask the question, what is not certain? And you will get the answer. Okay, you will get the noun clause. The answer that you get is the noun clause. So it acts as the subject to the verb is. So you can see sometimes the noun clause can act as the subject of the verb, or also it can also act as the object of the verb. So now let us look at another one. I forgot what you had asked me. I forgot what. I forgot what. You get the answer, what you had asked me. So this is the noun clause. So here it is acting as the object of the verb. Okay, object of the verb forget. Now come to exercise. Underline the noun clauses in the following sentences. She says that she has forgotten the keys at home. She says what? You get the answer, that she has forgotten the keys at home. So this is the noun clause, and it is introduced by that. Okay, now come to next one. All the answers you will be getting it in WhatsApp. State whether the words in bold form a noun clause or noun phrase. Now here, she knew that he was unwell. Here it is acting as a noun clause because it answers the question to what. She knew what? That he was unwell. And here there is a finite verb also is there, and it is introduced by that. Alright, now come to another one, last one. I wanted a clear answer. I wanted what? A clear answer. You getting the you will get the answer to what? To the question what. But it doesn't have a verb, so this makes it a noun phrase. So that is why it is called a noun phrase. Now till here you'll get the answers in your WhatsApp group. So please go through it and write it in your English 1 copy. All right.